In today's video, we are going to explore part 1 of The Art of War and popular quotes by Sun Tzu. The general who wins the battle makes many calculations in his temple before the battle is fought. The general who loses makes but few calculations beforehand. You may advance and be absolutely irresistible. If you make for the enemy's weak points, you may retire and be safe from pursuit if your movements are more rapid than those of the enemy. You have to believe in yourself. Whoever is first in the field and awaits the coming of the enemy will be fresh for the fight. Whoever is second in the field and has to hasten to battle will arrive exhausted. Who wishes to fight must first count the cost. Who does not know the evils of war cannot appreciate its benefits. While we keep away from such places, we should get the enemy to approach them. While we face them, we should let the enemy have them on his rear. When your army has crossed the border, you should burn your boats and bridges, in order to make it clear to everybody that you have no hankering after home. When these 5 kinds of spy are all at work, none can discover the secret system. This is called divine manipulation of the threads. It is the sovereign's most precious faculty. When the outlook is bright, bring it before their eyes, but tell them nothing when the situation is gloomy. When the enemy is relaxed, make them toil. When full, starve them. When settled, make them move. When one treats people with benevolence, justice, and righteousness, and reposes confidence in them, the army will be united in mind and all will be happy to serve their leaders. When invading hostile territory, the general principle is that penetrating deeply brings cohesion. Penetrating but a short way means dispersion. When envoys are sent with compliments in their mouths, it is a sign that the enemy wishes for a truce. Wheels of justice grind slow but grind fine. What the ancients called a clever fighter is one who not only wins, but excels in winning with ease. What enables the wise sovereign and the good general to strike and conquer, and achieve things beyond the reach of ordinary men, is foreknowledge. We may distinguish 6 kinds of terrain, to wit, 1. Accessible ground, 2. Entangling ground, 3. Temporizing ground, 4. Narrow passes, 5. Precipitous heights, 6. Positions at a great distance from the enemy. We cannot enter into alliances until we are acquainted with the designs of our neighbors. We are not fit to lead an army on the march unless we are familiar with the face of the country, its mountains and forests, its pitfalls and precipices, its marshes and swamps. Water shapes its course according to the nature of the ground over which it flows. The soldier works out his victory in relation to the foe whom he is facing. Victory comes from finding opportunities in problems. Victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win. Treat your men as you would your own beloved sons, and they will follow you into the deepest valley. To win 100 victories in 100 battles is not the acme of skill. To subdue the enemy without fighting is the acme of skill. To secure ourselves against defeat lies in our own hands, but the opportunity of defeating the enemy is provided by the enemy himself. To know your enemy, you must become your enemy. To fight and conquer in all our battles is not supreme excellence. Supreme excellence consists in breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. Thus we may know that there are 5 essentials for victory. 1. He will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight. 2. He will win who knows how to handle both superior and inferior forces. 3. He will win whose army is animated by the same spirit throughout all its ranks. 4. He will win who, prepared himself, waits to take the enemy unprepared. 5. He will win who has military capacity and is not interfered with by the sovereign. Thus the expert in battle moves the enemy, and is not moved by him. Thus the energy developed by good fighting men is as the momentum of a round stone rolled down a mountain thousands of feet in height. Thus it is that in war the victorious strategist only seeks battle after the victory has been won, whereas he who is destined to defeat first fights and afterwards looks for victory. Throw your soldiers into positions whence there is no escape, and they will prefer death to flight. If they will face death, there is nothing they may not achieve. Those skilled at making the enemy move do so by creating a situation to which he must conform. They entice him with something he is certain to take, and with lures of ostensible profit they await him in strength. Therefore soldiers must be treated in the first instance with humanity, but kept under control by means of iron discipline. This is a certain road to victory. There is no instance of a nation benefiting from prolonged warfare. There are 3 ways in which a ruler can bring misfortune upon his army. 1. By commanding the army to advance or to retreat, being ignorant of the fact that it cannot obey. This is called hobbling the army. 2. By attempting to govern an army in the same way as he administers a kingdom, being ignorant of the conditions which obtain in an army. This causes restlessness in the soldiers' minds. 3. By employing the officers of his army without discrimination, through ignorance of the military principle of adaptation to circumstances. This shakes the confidence of soldiers. There are roads which must not be followed, armies which must not be attacked, towns which must not be besieged, positions which must not be contested, commands of the sovereign which must not be obeyed. There are not more than 5 musical notes, yet the combinations of these 5 give rise to more melodies than can ever be heard. There are not more than 5 primary colors, yet in combination they produce more hues than can ever be seen. There are not more than 5 cardinal tastes, yet combinations of them yield more flavors than can ever be tasted. There are 5 ways of attacking with fire. The first is to burn soldiers in their camp, the second is to burn stores, the third is to burn baggage trains, the fourth is to burn arsenals and magazines, the fifth is to hurl dropping fire amongst the enemy. There are 5 dangerous faults which may affect a general. 1. Recklessness, which leads to destruction. 2. Cowardice, which leads to capture. 3. A hasty temper, which can be provoked by insults. 4. A delicacy of honor which is sensitive to shame. 5. Over-solicitude for his men, which exposes him to worry and trouble. The worst calamities that befall an army arise from hesitation. The wise warrior avoids the battle. The whole secret lies in confusing the enemy, so that he cannot fathom our real intent. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. The skillful tactician may be likened to the shuaijian. Now the shuaijian is a snake that is found in the Chang Mountains. Strike at its head, and you will be attacked by its tail. Strike at its tail, and you will be attacked by its head. Strike at its middle, and you will be attacked by head and tail both. The skillful soldier does not raise a second levy, neither are his supply wagons loaded more than twice. The skillful fighter puts himself into a position which makes defeat impossible, and does not miss the moment for defeating the enemy. The principle on which to manage an army is to set up one standard of courage which all must reach. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.